Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dr. Fantastic Interviews. I've got Vicki Gay from Northern California, Meadow Vista. Is that what it is, Vicki?
Yes, it is.
Wow, I actually remembered for the last 10 seconds what it was. I'm so proud of myself. Vicki, welcome to the show. So tell the audience, I know you're an author, and we might have met, or we did meet at the Conscious Life Expo. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that was a wonderful experience for me. Have you done many of those before?
Yes, I have done several of them at the LAX Expo. I do meet a lot of people, and I think you saw me there a year before last. And so 2018, February 2018. And it was swarmed with people, so it was really hard to stop and meet and all of that.
Sure.
But it was an amazing time. I love being around like-kind people.
Well, I felt like I was at Disneyland because I wanted to interview everyone because you could just see their personalities on the outside of their skin, you know?
It is wonderful. The energy's great, even though it seems like, and there's so many people, you're just in the middle of it. So it's pretty amazing. A great weekend.
Yeah, I had a ball. I interviewed, I think, about 20 people at the show, and then I'm following up with people I didn't get a chance to meet and interview afterwards. And Vicki, I want to tell the audience here that I'm going to interview you at length during the Dr. Fantastic show, which will be airing on May 21st, the first episode. I'm not sure if you'll be on that one or not, if you're available, but it is going to be the third Tuesday of every month at 2 p.m. And this is a fantastic network of positive people. And as you know, Vicki, I am Dr. Fantastic, the professor of positivity, practically the most positive person on the planet. I like the letter P, I think.
And this goes right down that category of fantastic, because people need this. They need to be able to tune in somewhere and get that spiritual energy going and connecting with pure channels, divine light, and that kind of thing, and that's exactly where you're coming from. So this is a great opportunity for people to get some of that, and an amazing time for everybody that joins you.
And being fantastic, Vicki, is the simplest thing. It's almost like the Pet Rock. Do you remember when the Pet Rock came out?
Yes.
It was a simple little thought, and the guy made buckets and buckets of money. But the point is that everyone is asked every day of their life how they are. It comes from the days of the Black Plague, when it was a life or death question. Today it's a rhetorical question that we greet a human being by saying. But we have a chance now to change the answer. We're never going to change the question. It'll be around for the next 600 years. But when you say you're fantastic, Vicki, you not only feel great, look great, and live longer, but you make the other person the same. And it's like a karmic move. It's like giving of yourself. It's like being kind to others. And fantastic people let you in traffic. They open doors for you. They're kind, considerate, friendly. I'm trying to bring the small town mentality, probably the mentality that's in your city, to Los Angeles, Chicago, and the big cities. And your town is probably pretty friendly, right?
It is. And the thing about it is that you have to feel fantastic. And to get to feel fantastic, or any of those words that it is that you want in your life, you have to use them. Because if you use the regular, good morning, and nobody has said anything to each other, or how are you, I'm fine. No one has said anything to you because it's automatic words that are just flowing out of your mouth without emotion or anything like that. But when you say fantastic, you don't hear that all the time, and so it kind of wakes you up, gives you a jolt, and you're going in the right direction. So you've got a great foundation there.
Yeah, I'm having a time of my life, Vicki. I've worked in over 79 different fields, and I think they've all led to this field of motivating people and inspiring them, and just telling them, stop and smell the roses. Look at the vista. Take 10 seconds out of your day to enjoy the moment,
I am a psychic medium, and I have to have that kind of thing in my life but see, I practice it, and it's what I do. I have to have time for rest and reflection, meditation. I have to get into the quiet and harmony, and I love peace in my life. So all of this is very healing, and it's just all part of the essence of being that just changes you. And this is fantastic that you're offering this, and it really touches my heart for you to have me on today.
Well, we're going to do it again at a bigger length and a bigger crowd, which is even better because I love one-on-one motivational conversations because I have their undivided attention, and it really strikes home when they see the simplicity of being positive. You know, Vicki, there's a lot of religions out there, and no one could agree on one of them. And there's a lot of politics, and certainly no one's going to agree on that. But I don't think there's a person on the planet that will argue that being positive is the way to be in life.
You know, religion, politics, and all of those kind of things, you know, they are there and they structure, but they don't make you. They don't put what it is into your being, yourself, that allows you to project something or what it is that makes you feel good and makes others feel good when they're around you. When someone can be around you and that you have these abilities to heal others as they come around you, or that you're able to immediately help someone without a thought, without worrying about, oh, am I going to have gain or whatever it is. It's just amazing to just take action. And it's because at that point it's who you become, and doing the things that you're putting out there and sharing is leading people to that direction. Well, so it's amazing. It's amazing.
Mark Twain once said, the two best days in a person's life are the day they are born and the day they discover why. And I'm happy to say that I discovered why just a few months ago, and I am having the time of my life motivating people.
Well, I feel like I was born to help people. If I am not helping people, I just don't feel balanced. So it's what I do. I connect with spirits. I tap into other people to help them. I am a clear conduit for spiritual energy and healing and connection, pure channel. It's divine. It comes from the white light. And to be able to put people into a calmness, even when they're irate or so angry that they just want to tear through things, you know, all of those things I have gotten through these different spiritual vibrations. And a show like what you're talking about, oh my gosh, that would be amazing for everyone.
Well, the show you're on, Dr. Fantastic Interviews on Sprecher, is basically all about improving one's mind, one's body, or the planet. And that's why I really enjoy talking to people like you, and you really get it. And I just want everyone to get it like that. If everyone thought like you and I, imagine how beautiful life would be.
It just would be a world that everybody would want, and they'd automatically make it a better place. Not only by asserting themselves, but making it even more beautiful. And if you took out everything that just doesn't fit in with what we're talking about, if you took everything that does not fit in, just imagine it being majestic. It would be fantastic.
Well, you know what's going to happen.
I love that word.
You know what's going to happen. And by the way, Vicki, the word means, the definition in the dictionary of the word fantastic is unimaginably good and beautiful. Most people
Okay.
don't. Most people don't know that. But here's what's going to happen, Vicki. We're going to move off the planet as we're doing. We're going to have space stations and moon stations and Mars stations. And just because of the evolution of life, how we learned how smoking is bad and pollution is bad and trash, not recycling is bad, and thinking, a lot of our thinking is bad. Those things won't happen in those new civilizations, I want to call them, or those new places where humans will migrate to. We're going to think positively. We're going to be kind to one another. Imagine being on a space station. I mean, if you can't have a negative person up there. That would be horrible.
That's true, and I really believe that is coming. It is coming, so people need to get on board. And I am really looking forward to being part of your radio show in May, because that would be amazing, fantastic to be able to be part of bringing all these people on board, and that they change and be happy about it, and it changes their lives.
Well,
it changes everything. And I know because I know I am a psychic medium, and I know that there are going to be world changes. And to implement that, how exciting is that?
Well, Vicki, I have an invitation for you right now. I'm inviting you at this moment to be Ambassador of Positivity number 16. These are people who see the light, who see the mission, who understand it and are benefiting by it and enjoying it. And all you have to do as an ambassador of positivity is be fantastic and tell people that they should be fantastic. And obviously watch the videos, share our interview here and the ones we're going to do on the air. I'm also launching an app that's going to include you and your services and the things that you want to do to help others in it, because I'm building a community through this app of fantastic people. My goal is to have millions of people being fantastic. And if nothing else, if everyone just lets everyone in traffic, I'll feel I'll have accomplished something great. But this is your invitation. You can say yes or no to be Ambassador number 16, Ambassador of Positivity to the Be Fantastic movement.
It is an honor.
There you go.
So,
I love it. I love it. We need a lot of Vicki Gays out there. Now, Vicki, let's get to you, Vicki. Besides the Be Fantastic movement, you are a published author. How many books?
4.
4 books. That is fantastic.
I have one instructional book, and that has to do with psychic and mediumship, and then I have 3 prophecy books.
Wow. Now, I have a prophecy. Want to hear my prophecy?
Oh, yeah.
In the not too distant future, humans will not use speech to communicate. And I say that because I might have a thought right now that I want to express to you and the listening crowd, and I may not be able to articulate it, and I may not have the education to use the proper words to articulate it. I might say it in the wrong intonation, and that thought might not convey itself, even though I want to convey that thought. So I think English or any language is it's going to be an archaic way of communication, because as you might know, being a psychic, you could, I don't know if you can read minds or not, but you could certainly talk to people through your thoughts. Am I correct?
Oh, yes. You're right on target. When I do a reading for somebody and I'm tapping into someone else here on the physical, that means that I am going into their minds, I am going into their being, their essence, and I'm picking up everything about them, and then I'm answering questions for the client. And a lot of times what will happen, the person I'm tapping into will wind up at the front door of whoever it is I'm doing the reading for, or they will call. So they're feeling something. They're knowing, and they're getting messages. So telepathically, something is going on. And these are people that are not even trying. It just happens. It's a natural thing. People are just making it harder than what it is.
And I agree completely. And you know what? It just strikes a chord with me, because I can't tell you how often I call someone and they say, I was just thinking of you. That's pretty much daily. That happens daily with me.
Right. You were thinking of them, and they telepathically picked up your message.
And they say twins have done that time immemorial. They've communicated across continents with the same thought. So that makes a little sense. All this makes a little sense, doesn't it, Vicki?
Oh yeah, and as people start doing it and let it flow naturally, they'll see who they really are because they're very suppressed. All these abilities are suppressed. They're natural. They just now some people have greater or more outstanding abilities in different aspects, but it's like everything else. Someone's a good artist, another one is a good singer, and somebody else may just be phenomenal at playing a piano. And we've got our own areas that we're greater at or fantastic at, but it doesn't mean that we don't get to know all the rest.
Right.
So
now, I think it's through the eyes that the biggest communication is, because I'll walk into my house and my dog will look at me, and I can tell by the look in her eyes that she got into trouble, she did something, and she's feeling regret. And that look is true every time. She obviously got into the trash, and she knows she shouldn't have got in the trash. She did, and she's kind of like maybe apologizing, but she knows she did it, and it conveys it through a dog, and that's a dog. And I'm sure you're married, and your husband or your children look at you, give them a certain look. You don't need to say any words.
Oh, I true. And I also have a dog, and I live in the country, and he'll run after a coyote, and then we'll call him, and he'll come back, and he will be looking down, or, he knows that he shouldn't have done what he did, or he didn't come right away. No, these animals are getting more and more intelligent. And as far as telepathic communication, it's amazing. It does work.
Yeah, and again, we all have, like you say, we all have that capability. We all have total recall. I knew Ronald Reagan, and he had total recall before he lost all recall. But he was an amazing man. I mean, the most beautiful voice I've ever heard on the phone. He called me when he was governor, and it was an amazing person. A matter of fact, he dated my mother. And the only picture I have of her, I was orphaned at 11, is a picture of her on a date with him at Sea Rose nightclub. So I put that on the cover of my book. I only have one book, but still, I guess I could claim that as I'm a published author. So what the hell?
Yes, you are.
Lester's Legacy is.
And you're busy. You're busy giving out your words in a different way, and that's putting more out there than just the book. And they need to buy it.
Well, maybe I'll sell a couple copies one day. There is a book that's one of my favorites, and that's The Four Agreements, and I'm sure you've read that one. Have you?
The Four Agreements? No,
It's a very small book. It was given to me by, I'm a captain of a billionaire on his yacht, and he gave it to me. So I figured if a billionaire gives you a book, you better read it. And basically, it's been a hit for decades. And the four agreements are thus. One is be impeccable with your word. That means not only keeping your word, but your words matter. And be careful what you say, of course. So be careful of your words. Be impeccable with your words. Second is never let what people say about you affect you. Never take it personally, because typically it's not about you. The third is never make assumptions. And that's a hard one for most people, even for myself sometimes. I find I lost a big deal, and I'll assume it was probably me. That's an assumption, and assumptions are all negative, and they're not beneficial to you whatsoever. And the fourth is always do your best. And that's all one can do. And if people live by those four agreements, and that's why it's been such a hit for decades, I think life will be better for a lot of people.
Well, no wonder he's a millionaire. He's got all the secrets.
Yeah, he one of his statements you'll like a lot is success unshared is failure. And that's John Paul DeJoria, the owner of Paul Mitchell Hair, and he just sold Patron Tequila a few months ago for $5.1 billion. Nice guy. I'm sitting on his yacht, by the way, right now.
Oh, the reason I asked you if you had your car on board because when you sent me that text, it said that you were driving and you couldn't answer the phone right now. And I guess you were using smartphone, which sometimes it's not the phone's not as smart as we think. And that's why I had said, so you're driving your car on that your car was on board the yacht. Right now I've been reading a lot of books written by Maximilian de Lafayette. He supported psychics and mediums, and so I've been written about and have articles in his books, and he's got me featured in over 20 books that he's written and magazines.
Wow.
And so a lot of it is pretty interesting stuff. These things that are way out there, and they make a lot of sense. So a lot of my reading has been in that area, but I'm definitely going to get this 4 agreements because, hey, I'm open and I am
life
changing and I want more.
Well, life is a journey, and I say I'd like to learn something from everyone I meet. I may forget it, but I'll try to learn something from everyone. And actually, my wife tells me, don't tell people you've worked in 79 different professions. And in my thoughts, that's bragging rights, because that means I've tried 79 things, and most of the time, far and away, I've accomplished them, and I didn't want to do them for life. I've had jobs that people would give their eye teeth for. I was a snow machine operator in Switzerland, in a 5-star hotel in the Alps, and it was magnificent. I had a magnificent winter '72, and it was a job people would die for. But I did it once, and I said that was a great experience, and then I moved on. Life is full of great things to do. I tell the young people, you can do anything you want to do, and it's limitless how many things there are to do. You could be a captain of a yacht. You could be an airline pilot. You could be a scuba diver. I was offered recently to be a treasure diver off of San Diego for a treasure hunt there. And, there's so many things to do. And I'm still looking forward to doing more.
Well, I feel, and I know, that every single thing that has happened in my life has brought me to this point where I am, and that happens to be helping people by doing readings for them, spiritually, using my intellect, the psychic abilities, and also by connecting with their loved ones. And every step of the way had to happen in order for me to get where I am now. So everything that happens to people, they need to accept it and know that it's part of their being. So
and it's the good, it's the good and the bad. But I like to look at there's no bad, because if you learn something from the bad, it was good. So basically, you are spot on, Vicki, when you say that, because too many people are going down in life with blinders on, and they're not experiencing life. They're sitting next to someone on an airplane for 10 hours, and they don't say hello to them. To me, that's missing out in life. We're all connected, and if you just sit down and talk to a complete stranger, there's a commonality there. There's a connection,
Yeah, because there's a reason why that person wound up next to you. When I went to the UK, I struck up a conversation with my neighbor at every flight, and that was a long flight. And when I fly as little as going to LA or one of those quick flights, I talk to them too, because I love people and I just find them interesting. I am going to have to wrap it up.
Well, we actually went over budget. We're at 23 minutes. We're at 23 minutes, not 15 like we planned, but it was so much fun talking to you. And again, we will talk on the radio. And everybody listening, be fantastic. Vicki, thank you so much for the time. And you have a fantastic day, young lady.
And you too. Fantastic.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.